welcome back to Sass Queen Bling. Thank you for clicking on my channel today and tuning in. Today I'm using a 25-ounce Sport from Crafty Thrivin. This is a water bottle, so it has the water bottle lid. I am on a new adventure. I am doing a garden this year, and I'm trying to eat better and increase my water intake. So I figured what better way to do that than to make myself a new water bottle. So what I want to do with this is kind of give it a rustic look like Shiplap. But of course I will have some chickens on there because I love chickens. First thing I want to do is take the wide, this is Duck brand painter's tape. I'm not sure what inch this is, but it's the wide one. I'm going to take that, and I just want to, I'm going to create wide, wide lines of Shiplap. It doesn't have to be perfect because Shiplap is not perfect. And I prepared my tumbler the other day, so my spray paint is good and dry. The lengths on these don't matter because Shiplap is not perfect. So you don't want them perfect. And I have one little space there, so I just cut a little piece to just put there. And I'm just going to go all the way down the cup like that. Or the tumbler, sorry. Now, I did tape off the bottom because I'm not going to epoxy the bottom of the water bottle. And the reason why I'm not is because I plan on being outside, working in the garden and stuff like that, and so I'm going to be sitting it down here and there, and I don't want to have to worry about messing up the bottom of it. Like if I sit it on a piece of damp wood, and you know you shouldn't sit epoxy down in water and let it sit there. So if I was out there and it had been raining or whatever, and I sit it on a piece of damp wood, I don't want there to be epoxy on the bottom of there. So I'm just going to let that be bare for that purpose. Now that's what it looks like. So I've got burnt umber and pearl copper gold and my chip brush. I'm going to put some of the burnt umber and some of the pearl copper gold. And I just want to kind of get this to look like an aged wood color where the white is. So I just dab that, dab it on the side so I can get it where it's not so thick. And then I'm just going to brush it on with my chip brush. you're wanting it to look like brushed. You're not wanting to like completely paint it. See if I can bring you closer so you can see what I'm doing. Now I've also taped off up here. Now I'm going to take a little bit of the gold dab some of that off. And that's that. I'm going to go ahead and add some of the Mars Black with the brown. I'm just going to kind of mix those a little bit, because I want that to look like it's older wood. Okay. And I can go ahead and start pulling that tape. Okay, now I'm going to take this slate alcohol ink, put it on there, and I'm just going to take my chip brush and go over it like so, side to side. Whenever I do the alcohol ink, I like to have it over the trash can because it makes a mess. So, and I'm using alcohol ink because it won't take my acrylic paint off. Have to worry about it being about perfecting it, because you don't want it to be perfect. Now, if I get a spot like that where I have a drip, just add a little bit more alcohol ink, and that'll reactivate it, and then you just brush over it. That'll fix it. over the trash can, it'll splatter everywhere because as you're doing this, it splatters back from the brush. I probably have it on my clothes right now and don't even know it yet. Now, I like it just like that, but since I have the wood in between, I've got this metallic antique copper, and I'm going to go ahead and put some of that down here. I only need a little bit. Dab. And you can dab in the brown too if you want. And I'm just gonna just little brushes like that. Because I'm not wanting to make it too dark, but I want to make it blend with those lines in between. And you get it like that. So I'm using my acrylic marker. This is a brown. I don't know how to pronounce it. But I'm just putting like the marks where the bolts would have been, or nails. That's all I'm doing. Just like that. Now, I'm going to let that dry, and I'm going to do my first layer of epoxy, because some of the images I'm putting on here are tattoos, and acrylic paint washes off. So when I apply my tattoos with the water, I want to do that over epoxy so that my water doesn't wipe off my acrylic paint. I mixed up 20 milliliters of epoxy and added some Peachy Olive Glitter Bright in this. This is a 25 ounce, so 20 ounces will be good because I don't need a thick coat on here. I'll give this about 10 or 15 minutes to turn, and then I will remove my tape off the top and the bottom. Okay, So I got a coat of epoxy on there. I went ahead and put my lid on because I want to see where I'm going to put my decals, and because this is a screw-on lid with a spout, I want to make sure I have it where I want it at. I have this clear cast. I got this from Crafty Thrivin, and this is clear see-through, so I'm going to put this on one side of this, and you'll still be able to see my shiplap through it, but I've held it up against it, and even though this is like an old shiplap, I think it's still going to look good on here, even with my background. So I'm going to want to make sure I get this even on the back side here, because I want my words on the front where I'm drinking, I can see it. Go ahead and fold this back. And see where I want it at on here. As I'm pushing this on, I'm pushing the backing off. If you get any bubbles in there, I pop them with my weeding tool. I think that's perfect. Now for the front side, I made this, may all your weeds be wildflowers. May all your weeds be wildflowers. And I just made that in the Silhouette Studio. Nothing fancy, I just used whatever fonts I liked. And I chose this teal, or whatever I call it, teal, because it matched the flowers on the clear chickens. So I've got to have at least a chicken on here. So here I added my little chicken down here. So cute. Now I'm going to add a couple of butterfly tattoos. Now tattoos have a film on them. Make sure you pull that clear film off before you go to apply them. If you don't, you'll ruin your tattoo. Particular way I want these to go, so I'm not picky about it. Just take a wet rag and wet that. It'll slide right off. Normally I just lay this rag on here, but I don't want to do that over my vinyl. I don't want to get my vinyl all wet. That's that. Now what I'm going to do is seal it with a layer of polyacrylic after it dries. I want to make sure all this is dry first, because I want to seal that vinyl. And after that dries, then I'll be ready for my next layer of epoxy. This only has one layer of epoxy, so I'll probably give it 2 more layers. Okay, so I've mixed up 30 milliliters of epoxy, and I already sealed it with my polyacrylic. And I taped off the top and the bottom again. And after I get the epoxy on there and it turns for a little bit, I will remove that electrical tape. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this, and that should be that may be my final layer, and I may have to do, if not, I'll have to do one more layer. Anyways, thank y'all for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and ring the bell so you can get my updates. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you. Bye.